Peace, family. Today we're discussing how and why I came up with the concept of hashtag unapologetically excellent. So, today we will discuss, as I mentioned, how I came up with the hashtag unapologetically excellent. Now, there is a story that preceded this decision of mine to make 2019 about unapologetically excellent. I'm going to share that with you, and then I'm going to encourage you, whether your story is the same as mine or not, to join me in this mission of making your life unapologetically excellent, because there is no room and no time for anything other than achieving our goals and reaching our highest potential. Tongue-tied this morning. All right, so without wasting any more time, basically the way that I became convinced or determined to make this year about unapologetically excellence is, in the past, from the time I was a adolescent, from like 9 or 10 to my adult years, I have always felt like I had to kind of shelter who I was. And I'm going to explain that. When I was younger, I was in a lot of groups. I was in a lot of competitions. I was in a lot of oratorical speeches, and I traveled around the world, and I, did motivational speaking for my peers, but I also wrote speeches for publications, and, I was president of every club and every, activity that I was a part of. I was like the head of it. And it's not that it was something that I did to be in the limelight, but the reality is with me being a Gemini and who I am naturally, I'm a very outspoken, very communicative, and very determined person. So in that, it created this energy around me and the things that I was achieving of being a person who was always under the limelight. I loved to express myself. I love dance. I love art. I love writing. I love poetry. I love performing. I love those things because it allows me to get out aspects of myself that I would not naturally display. But in that, as you can imagine, being young and winning first place at different oratorical competitions, like at the age of 12 and 13, and being like the first one in my class to be inducted into the National Honor Society, and being president of clubs like Building with Books, which is now called Build On, which is an organization that sends teenagers in inner city schools to Africa to go and build schools and do nonprofit work. I mean, it made people see what I was accomplishing, whether I wanted that or not, because that was not my goal. My goal, as I mentioned, was to compete with myself. I like to achieve my goals. I'm not focused on what other people think about it, honestly. Matter of fact, some people would even call me nonchalant. It's not that I'm nonchalant. It's just that is not my focus. My focus is me. So when I do activities, or when I'm in competitions, or when I'm, looking to compete in something, ultimately, I'm not competing with my competitors. I'm competing with myself. In elementary school or middle school, even college, high school, when I got a grade, if it was a 99, I was never satisfied with that. It always had to be 100. And if it was 100, I was trying to see how I could do extra credit to make it 105, because I felt like I needed to always be the very best, the very top of whatever it was that I was embarking on doing. So with that being said, and with the limelight focusing on me, I began to feel a little bit peer pressured. And that was because my friends and my family around me began to make their teenager or my peers realize, Adida's accomplishing such and such. Why aren't you? She's traveling to Africa. Why aren't you? She's in this competition. Why aren't you? Well, why don't you be like her? She wants to be a neurosurgeon, or she wants to do this, or she wants to do that. Be like her. Be like her. Be like. It was always that pressure on my family and on the peers around me. And that made me feel, or some of them, and that made me feel like in order for me to keep the friends and the connections that I had to make myself be dumbed down. And when I say dumbed down, I no longer was okay with people noticing my accomplishments. And because of that, it made me stop doing a lot of the things that I was really interested in, such as dancing, such as speaking, such as traveling. I began to get into a shell that I was never in before, and it made me secluded. And that seclusion, it helped me spiritually, reach different levels I wanted to be in, but it did nothing for me achieving my life goals. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a neurosurgeon. If you're not familiar with that, it's a person who works on the neurological system in the body. And, I was very into the study of the brain. So I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. I wanted to do brain surgery. And I wanted to, I was very into studying how the brain worked and why people had the different conditions with their brains, which is hence probably why I take care of my grandmother who has dementia, still to this day, because that was just my thing. Like, I was intrigued by the brain. I was intrigued by the heart, the very life pulsing organs of the body was like my forte. Anything with medicine, anything with healing, anything with, studying the anatomy and physiology of the body, I loved it. And I would sink my teeth into it. So in that, I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. It wasn't until I got diagnosed with the thyroid disease that I kind of switched my focus. And all of my degrees and stuff that I had achieved, I switched all of my focus into naturopathy, which is how I got to the herbs and how I got to the crystals and how I got to all of that. Because when I got sick with my thyroid and I started having issues right after I had Rukaya with my thyroid, it made me start to look into naturopathic ways of healing it. They wanted to do the chemo surgery. They wanted to kill out. They wanted to do either chemo or take out the thyroid and the nodules that were there. And then they wanted to be pumping me with Synthroid for the rest of my life. And although everybody says, oh, Synthroid is harmless, blah, 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 it's no problem. The thyroid was put into the body for a reason. And I wasn't okay with the doctors removing it. And I'm still not okay. Hence why I struggle sometimes with my weight. I struggle with, different elements that come from the thyroid being dysfunctional because it's hypoactive, not hyper. So these are just different things that I'm dealing with throughout life. But my point is, it made me get into naturopathy, and I started trying to just dive into that, dive into naturopathy. With that being said, now in my adult years, when I join a club or when I in my Tarika or, I go to a group, I'm very hush hush about what it is that I've accomplished, what my skills are, what I'm able to do. If people know me, unfortunately, they're like, oh, Hadida knows how to do such and such. You could call her or she could help you with that, or, she could do this or whatever, and I'm kind of like, shh, don't say nothing, because I don't want A, people to feel intimidated, and I don't want B, people to feel like they got to compete with me, because I'm not interested in competing with anybody other than myself. And that's the God honest truth. So I'm not looking for that attention. I'm not looking for anybody to feel threatened for whatever reason, by my appearance. And I'm not saying any of this to boast. These are actual experiences and conversations that I've had with people around me. So last year, I began sweeping out, as I told you guys in the video of why and how I cut my hair, the first part. I began sweeping out the trash and the stuff that was clouding my life. Okay, and I began to take back my life, in that I said I was going to achieve the goals that I always wanted to achieve. I was going to sink my teeth into and put all my energy into becoming who I always wanted to be. If inshallah is in Allah's will. And so with that being said, it made me say, you know what? I'm not going to apologize anymore for my accomplishments, because what it made me start to do when people started to notice, Hadida's doing this or Hadida's doing that, be like her. It made me start to be like to my peers and people around me, I'm sorry. I didn't, that wasn't my intention. I didn't want your mom to compare you to me. I didn't want, your grandmom to say you should be like me or you should do this like me. I began to apologize and feel like I had to dumb down who I was to the people around me. I had to kind of hide who I was, rather than seeing those as powerful aspects of myself and things that could help and change other people's lives, hopefully, and potentially. I began to be like, oh man, I don't want anybody to notice me. And by doing that, I apologize. And by apologizing, it made me hide. And that hiding, and me deciding I was taking back ownership of my life, said I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm not going to apologize anymore. I'm just going to be who I am. I'm going to excel in every way possible, and I'm going to change as many people's lives as I could possibly change, and to help them to see their full potential, because that's really my passion. My passion, if you talk to any of the women who are with me, they will tell you, Hadid is very much into healing and changing lives. If she can help you, she's going to help you. If she has resources, she's going to give them to you. Like, I'm all about empowering women and empowering people to make change in their lives, and us doing the journey together. I'm not empowering you to leave you by yourself. I'm not empowering you to, say, yeah, you could do it, and then not give you any of the skills or help that you may need to accomplish that. I'm empowering you for you to really step into it and for us to take the journey together, because as people accomplish and do more with their lives, it's also feeding me. It's not just about me giving, and people, get on me all the time, you give. When do you ever take? It's not that I need to take. Me helping people is pushing energy into my life. It's helping me, with an energy boost. So with that being said, I came up with the first part of the hashtag, unapologetic. Right? Because I'm no longer apologizing for who I am. I'm no longer apologizing for my accomplishments. I'm no longer apologizing for my excellence. And that's how I came to the excellence portion. I literally had a talk with myself, a real life talk, laying one day in my bed, like, you know what? Those days of you apologizing, those days of feeling some type of way because you are trying to achieve your goals are over. No longer apologize to anybody about what you're doing with your life. No longer feel like you have to dumb down who you are. No longer challenge, or not challenge yourself to be your very best and your greatest, which is what I've always done. And when I had that talk with myself and I wrestled with myself in the bed and what people were going to think and what people were going to say, and, oh, I'm going to be in the limelight and I don't want to be in the limelight. I just want to live my purpose and all these other things. It made me come to the realization is like, just do it. Just freaking do it. So I'm coming to you, ladies. I don't want this video to be long. I know sometimes they get long. I'm trying to keep them like under 15 minutes. I just want to I want to share with you my story, and I want to give you the push to make this year about unapologetic excellence. You becoming your best and your most influential and your most goal conquering and achieving self that you have ever imagined yourself to be. And I'm going to try my hardest every single week to pump you with the energy, with the tools, with the affirmations, with the action plans, with whatever it is that you guys need. If you could think of anything, comment down below. things that you need to help you be your absolute greatest. We are going to make 2019 about hashtag unapologetically excellent. And if you are willing to make this challenge, or meet this challenge with me, and to do this challenge with me, comment down below unapologetically excellent. I will enter you into the hashtag unapologetic excellent membership and support group that we are going to have on this red tent. And I am revamping a bunch of stuff on the website. I am reloading the website today. I'm releasing it. So by midnight tonight, This Red Tent will be back up, thisredtent.com. If you have not been there, go check it out. You can see all the services and resources that we have. We do have a membership for the women who are interested in becoming a member. We are going to be starting our full and new moon Red Tent meetings again. They will begin February, the full moon of February, which I will get into more detail about that. The crystal packs that I told you guys about will be being released tonight on the website. There's fashion to come. There's affirmations to come. There's books to come. There's crystals to come. Everything you guys could possibly think of, you're going to be able to find in the red tent. For those of you sisters who are Muslim, who are looking for encouragement in Islam and help with that, I did not forget about you. I saw the comments. I saw the emails. Those videos are coming as well. Inshallah, I'm going to be making Fridays about, because Friday is our holy day in Islam and Jummah for us, I'm going to be making Fridays about diving into the Islam teachings and practices for sisters specifically, the Salat, and whatever else you guys may be interested in. You can always comment below. And then also I'm going to be starting back up the new Shahada classes on Saturdays. You know, it's just going to be an information and high vibration packed year. And I am super excited. So I want to say I love you guys. I want to say peace. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so that you can be kept up to date with every time I post a video, so we can do this thing together. And I'm looking forward to us walking into 2019 and being in 2019 unapologetically excellent. I love you guys and peace.